Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this SprutCAM training course. Today is lesson 1 from a common topic that we'll call editing geometrical molds. So, part 1. In this particular lesson, we are going to see about properties we can handle and transformations we can do inside SprutCAM to a CAD model. First, we use the same CAD model that was used in the previous lesson, and I think it's more than enough to explain what we want. So we are inside the tab called Model, and in this tab we have this handling, this management of the properties. The first interesting topic, it is the possibility we have to work with different type of geometry and entities. So we imported a model inside. This is a step model, if you remember the previous lesson. And according to the entries we have on top of this part of the screen, we can deal with a complete solid that was inside the step file. If we click in this entry, we have the solid. If we click in the solid, we have all the different and tiny components we have inside the solid. So we can handle this information on this way, individually or as a group, okay? This is a very interesting type of handling we have available inside SprutCAM. So now that we have this explanation done, what we will see, it's the same for either of these both possibilities. So I'm choosing solid, and if I click inside, if I click in this icon called properties, I get this dialog box where I can manage different things. First, it is the possibility to have object dimensions. So where it is placed in terms of the 3 axes and the size of the objects. In this case, my complete solid. If I had one face, which I don't know which one it is, if I go here, I get the dimensions of that particular face, okay? And I have it identified here. So depending on the entity we select, we get different results. So this first one called general, we have this type of information. The second one we call visual. We have the possibility to make some choices. First one, it is the color. I can come here and say another color, okay, and I must click outside to see the color that was chosen applied to my model. I have also the possibility to have it visible or not, and I can choose the number of isoperimetric curves in either of the directions. For example, let us apply this thing here. Having this in shade does not allow me to see, so I'll choose to wireframe. So you see that I have even not very visible. Okay, you see, for example, in this corner here, I have one in the middle in one direction, or a couple more in this direction and one on the other one. So if I go there and apply a little more, for example, like this, you see I have more density now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the other direction. So this is a possibility to handle also this visibility in case of wireframes. So going back, okay. Then I have also a visual tolerance, so higher or lower. This is in fact the quality of my display. I'm not sure, let us lower this. I'm not sure if I have much difference in our particular model, because we have much more straight lines, so not so easy to see the difference in quality. But if we get very complex models and so on, maybe we have some difference in terms of the quality. And if you increase the quality, you will have also slower models and more time consuming in terms of the handling of the model. So visual. Now machining. Machining has this important feature called double-sided. This is for, as the name says, for machining. So if we say double-sided, then the toolpath, depending on the situation and depending on what we are choosing, can be done in both places. So in both faces of what is chosen. In this particular case, we have a solid. So it's not very clear to apply this concept because this is a closed volume. So the program will calculate only tool paths on the outside. But in case we are dealing with this functionality in terms of one surface or one face, then it is more obvious. And finally, we have other types of parameters that we can apply also as object properties. We have a couple more features in this bar here. So we can have this in terms of visibility or not. We can deal also in terms of colors. It's another way to go inside as the option we have inside. We have the possibility to make a cut, and I would like to go back. So paste, okay, copy, paste, cut. We can make a delete also and delete geometry, so we can handle this with a couple of functions. In this particular case where we have one single solid, it's not so obvious, but I think it's easy to understand what we can do. Then we have also other possibilities, like the ones that are inside this option here called transform. So in here we have spatial transformations. So if we click on the function, we get this dialog box where we have different types of transformations. This is very easy also to understand and allow us to correct eventually some mistakes or some not well-defined geometry issues when we import our model. Let us see what is the idea to handle this. So first it is a tab called Move. So we can move according to the axis. For example, let us see. I will apply something here. Let us close this first. Let us choose the solid, not the group. Now transform, okay. Make a move, so 200, and you see already a preview of our solid. So we can create a copy or not, or more. So I will leave these copies out. And we can apply these distances according to the axis. So this is one possibility. In terms of rotation, basically the same idea. So copies quantity, yes or no. Then according to the axis, for example, if we rotate 45 degrees in relation to Z, so we get this type of thing. Scale, basically the same thing, so we can apply automatically scales from millimeters to inches or the reverse, or apply a different factor, for example 2, and we can apply it in terms of each one of the axes for different scale centers. Okay. Mirror, basically the same. So we can apply it about an axis, a plane, or a point. So if it is an axis, by default, it is also always related to the one we are considering in terms of origin. So everything it is done according to what we have. Plane the same. So I have also these possibilities, or a point, and we can give the coordinates of the point. We can also locate the zero, and we have different possibilities. So in terms of each one of the axes, so we can do it max, z, middle, x, sorry, max, middle, minimum, or saying another and give one specific value. And this can be applied to each one of these guys, okay? Coordinate system, we can change the coordinate system. So current, we have this with Z top, so apply to this point. So, but I can change this and have these choices, maintaining the same point as a coordinate, but rotating the system. So, and we can have this kind of choices, okay? So these are the options for applying transformations. So we will have a part 2 of this topic regarding the addition of the geometry. Please follow the next video. And in this particular one, if you have questions, you can consult us, or you can also check the theoretical course we have available in our online platform.